Hello, New Black Wall Street. This is ERGJ, the Intelligent Investor. I guess I'm the presiding partner. Anyway, I want to give you a quick weekly update. We met last night, and we didn't record it. Just didn't feel the need. So I think every week I'll just try to give you an update on where we are as far as what we discussed. And so a couple topics that went place. First, I want to start off by saying thank you again for your interest. Thank you again for joining us, partnering with us, that we can grow together in wealth and knowledge and experience. And hopefully we do a great job and be successful and help not only ourselves, but the next generation as well. Changing our community one fortune at a time. And so last night we met on Monday evening at 8 o'clock. So some things that came away from that meeting. Number one, every Monday at 8 o'clock, we are going to have a call basically for educational purposes. There's a lot of you that may just be getting started to the world or just be getting introduced to the world of investing. So we want to help you to get educated, to start to understand the stock market, and to arm you with information and knowledge so that when we start discussing positions, you can have an idea of what we're talking about, and it can help you to make a better informed decision on whichever way you decide to vote. Number two, there's going to be a 60-day period, and this 60-day period should help us to accomplish quite a few things. One, it'll help us to weed out the real from the fake, people that say they're interested but are not committed. Maybe you just don't have the time. Maybe you don't have the money. Whatever the case may be. Quite honestly, there's going to be some people that won't even see this message because they won't even, click on our group that are in the group. So, 60-day period to weed out the real from the fake. Also, 60 days for you to start getting your savings in order. So some of you may have had trouble saving in the past, and so you're going to need to get into the habit of saving money every month so that you can contribute every month. And then number three, to educate you, to help mold your mind from being a consumer to becoming an investor. They're totally different mindsets, and so that's why we're going to be focusing on the educational part for the first 60 days. So you're really just getting free education. You have no investment, but it really shows you'll be able to show your initiative on whether you're serious about this or not. Now, the money part. Nothing is set in stone yet, but the original idea is that one, we would have a cap of 25 members. The first 25 to put their initial deposit down to invest into the group to say that I'm in. And so what would that initial deposit be? Well, initially it's going to be $100 non-refundable deposit. And that's where we are right now. We'll have it set in stone soon. If that's the case, we'll all have to vote on that. So we'll be looking at $100 initial deposit. And what that would cover is going to be things like the accounting platform that we need, getting legalized with the Secretary of State, taking care of our charter celebration, and then also to give us a buffer for those that may start in the club, but for some reason or not, 6 months down the road, they have to leave the club or some emergency comes up and they need to pull their funds out. Well, we'll have a buffer to be able to pay those individuals out in the event so that we don't have to exit a position because of one individual or sell off some of our positions because of one individual. And then there'll be we're looking at a monthly investment of $50 a month. So $100 initial deposit, non-refundable, and then $50 a month. The date that we're looking at right now is going to be April 15th for that $100 deposit, and then May 1st for the first $50 monthly contribution. Now we're looking at a long-term approach. So we're looking for a year-long commitment. So if you have a tough time committing or you don't think that you can commit for a year, we're talking about May to May, basically from tax time to tax time. And there's a couple reasons why. One, because when you have a long-term investment, you pay less taxes on your returns, on your gains. if we should have them on your capital gains. And so we want to hold a position for at least a year. This will also give us time to get through all of the bumps in the road. There are going to be bumps in the road. Anytime you start something new, you're going to have a few hiccups, a few bumps in the road. So that's why we're talking about a year-long commitment. And then after that year, we can re-vote on who should take officer roles or whatever. We can decide to keep going with the group, all of that good stuff. So a year-long commitment, $100 initial deposit, $50 monthly contribution or investment. Now, $50 is not a whole lot. I mean, so if you think about it, what you're really paying for is the education. What you're really investing in is the education, because if you put $50 in a month and say we get a 10% return as a group, well, you really only put in $600. So 10% on $600 is $60. But what you're gaining in knowledge is going to be tremendous, right? Because you're learning how to fish. And so even if we don't continue as a group, now you've gained knowledge in order to learn how to fish and to eat and to feed yourself. And so you can go off into your own individual investments or whatever the case may be along the way. And so, as we grow, we may bump that up next year. However that goes, we'll see where we are a year from now. So that's initially the thought that we have. Now, last thing I want to cover, and we covered a little bit more, but last thing I want to cover is I want to put this out there. We're looking for volunteers for individuals that want to have officer roles, that are interested in officer roles. So if you're interested in an officer role, just respond in this video. We got the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. I want to thank Ms. Tamala Lambert. She is our team mother, our encourager, our supporter. Brandon Hart, I've already tagged you as our social media expert or our web developer. So thank you for taking on that role. And so that's kind of it right there. We probably have a few other roles that won't be official. But we'll just kind of see what kind of feedback we have. Because again, guys, it's all about sharing. You have something to give, whether you think so or not. You have something to give. And I'll prove that to you as we go through our lessons. So every Monday at 8 o'clock, we're going to meet for basically education, and also to give updates on where we are as far as the group is concerned. We are working on the bylaws. I would encourage you to get a PayPal account. Get a PayPal account. Two things. Get a PayPal account, because we're doing all of this cyber in the cyber world, and so we want to be able to connect that way, so it's easy to transfer your money or to pay your money whenever that time is up. So get a PayPal account. Number two, download the application Yahoo Finance to your phone, Yahoo Finance, or you can use whatever platform you like to use. And your first company that you want to add to your watch list is going to be Apple. So download Yahoo Finance and the application. Download Yahoo Finance, the application, to your phone, and then add to your watch list Apple. And then, of course, you can add whatever else you want to add, but we'll start with Apple. Download Yahoo Finance, add Apple. Get a PayPal account. If you are interested in volunteering for any particular roles, president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, let that be known. Just put it out there for those that want to volunteer, those that can make that commitment to be part of our executive committee. And then 60-day period. Initially, we're talking about $100 initial deposit, $50 a month. All right. That's all I got for you today, guys. Thank you so much. Again, we are moving forward. It feels so good to make progress. So it's going to be a slow, steady roll, but we want to do things in order. So we're just making progress. And so I'll be back with you guys for another update later. Read all the articles you can read. Watch all the videos that you can watch. Share all the information that you can share, so we can all be empowered and we can make this new Black Wall Street a success.